Well, it is day 2 of our 5 days of 5 lives, where Amanda Delaney and I explained to you guys what life was like yesterday. We described what life was like for us before we started to live in alignment with our values. And today we're going to be describing what life is like for us after we had established our values and started living our values in action daily. So this is the gig. We are going to be doing a competition on Friday for all of you beautiful people. We're going to give 2 free tickets to our event, Know Your Values, the business of you, on the 13th of August in the Hilton Hotel on Malahide Road. They call it Dublin Airport. It's not really Dublin Airport. For those of you who know, you'll know it's not Dublin Airport. And all you have to do to be able to be in with a chance to win those tickets is to ask us a question, tag the friends that you want to bring, and share. So you have to do all of those 3 things in order to be in a chance for a gorgeous day out for you and a pal. And also, like, make it a girly day. Okay, so what I'll do is I will describe to you while we're waiting for Amanda to come online. I'll describe to you what my life looked like when I decided that I was going to work internally on what my values were, and stop living through other people's values. So it came to crisis time for me, if I'm honest with you. So I was extraordinarily unhappy. I was suffering from anxiety and depression. And for any of you who suffer from anxiety and depression, let that be a major wake up call for your body, your soul, trying to grab your attention to say something is wrong here. If you are somebody who ever experienced that, that is your body's way of trying to grab your attention to say something is wrong. Please help me. Listen to your soul. It is your soul's calling to get you back on track. You are out of alignment when you are not living inside your own values, okay? So you have to listen to your soul's calling constantly. But I suppose the day that I experienced my crisis, it was literally enough is enough. I'm sick of myself. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of running here. I'm sick of running there. I was turning into a confetti person. I was splitting myself up into a million little pieces, and I was the one who was suffering. And as a result, my marriage suffered. And as a result, my children were suffering when they were small. Um, I had been working on myself before I had my kids. I had gone to see somebody who, I addressed this in my TED talk to say that, all the counsellors that I had gone to see were literally shite. But there was one girl I found, and she was absolutely outstanding, and it was herself that got me on the track of getting back to myself, getting home, getting still. Um, when I had to analyze my values and get really, honest with myself, I had to allow myself stop. I had to jump off of the wheel, the hamster wheel of life, because we can allow ourselves get very busy through avoidance. And when I allowed myself to get still and look at the things that I was doing outside of myself, it really made me see the madness. And as Amanda said yesterday, the chaos of my life. So when I started, establishing what my value, and my values have changed since then. And back then, I got my values tattooed down the length of my spine. Um, and my first value that is written there is love, gra. I have it all written in Irish. But now my first value is not love. My first value is loyalty. I'll explain that to you again. But the birthing process of me being reborn whilst being the true highest version that I could be to myself at the time, involved disgruntling a lot of other people. And there was a handful of people who just didn't like the new Nicola, you know. They preferred the old Nicola when I was self-serving to them. So some people held me in their life because I was useful to them. And as soon as I was no longer useful, I was no longer needed. So I was discarded like that confetti person. Um, I had to start using the word no quite a lot. And my values in turn helped me establish my boundaries, what was going to be allowed or not allowed. And I felt like I was facing a lot of confrontation, which I thought it was confrontation at the time. But in actual fact, it wasn't me being confrontational, it was me being boundaried. But I had to learn to be really clever with my delivery. At the beginning of this process, my delivery wasn't so kind, I suppose, and I was operating still from a space of fear. But again, it was all a learning process, brick by brick by brick by brick. And the upside of that is that all of the toxic people and the takers, because good givers make great takers, guys. Um, all of the takers were removed from my life organically. I didn't have to say, please leave my life. What happened was when they weren't happy with the new Nicola who loved herself correctly, the Nicola who had unconditional kindness and forgiveness for herself, the Nicola who prioritized herself first in a self-full way, not in a selfish way, um, they left. They left. And it's like being in moving water. You know, let the dead wood take itself organically down the river. If you hold onto the dead wood like a life raft and hold onto the people, they will, some of them will drown you while you're trying to save yourself. So I want you to think of the analogy like when you're on a flight, when you're instructed to put your own oxygen mask on first before you attend to children. And years ago, my Charlie on a flight went bananas about that. She was like, we're only kids, we need help to be able to stay alive. But when I explained it to her, she got it then. You know, she really got it. And she's a young adult now and she's carried that into her life. And our children see us um, living through example. So no matter how much advice you give your kids to be able to be assertive, be confident, be loyal, be loving, they're not going to do it unless they see it in motion, you know, or if they do, they're going to have to go through a lot of pain to be able to get there at the very end. So my birth and pains were people. My birth and pains were the disgruntledness and the discomfort that that brought me and them. But all good things, you know, when we're patient and when we're consistent, persistent, and insistent with our values, we raise our vibration to that space. And when we raise our vibration, so if I was operating at this space and now I'm operating at that space, people at that level vibrationally were attracted into me. And now I would like to think that I'm operating at a higher vibration space and I'm attracting, well, some people who met me at that level were also doing the work and now we're all at that level. And then I attracted new people in. And then some people who were down there, you know, still doing the work or whatever, they may not be in my life as much anymore. But I still, you know, love and respect and admire them. And if any of my friends from a long time ago are watching this, they will know I check in on them every now and again. I send them messages. How are you doing? Are you doing okay? How can I help you? Um, just checking in, making sure that they're staying conscious as well. But just because people operate at a different energy space to you does not make you any different or any better than them. You are the same as everybody else. You are the same as the homeless person on the street or Barack Obama. We are all in pain. We're just choosing to display it in different ways. So as a result, right now in my life, I have the best stellar platinum people than I have ever had in my life before. My friendships are absolutely beautiful. The people that I keep company, absolutely beautiful. What I would do for them is exactly what they would do for me, and vice versa. We have respect. We respect each other's time. We value our friendships. We're kind to each other. I have the best clients. Oh my God, I have the most hardworking clients in the history of ever. My team would literally walk on water for me if I asked them, because they know if they asked me, I would do that straight back for them. So I suppose the crux and the be all and end all of it is when you establish your values for you, everything changes. That's Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And I am very happy. I am very contented. I am full of peace. I have peace in my heart, peace in my mind, peace in my soul. I feel like the most successful version of myself right now. So let me know if anything that I've said has triggered you in any way. Can you see any similarities? Have you done the work? Have you not done the work? Are you in the process of doing the work? Let me know how you feel. Let me know what your life looks like right now. Let me know how Amanda and I can help you. I'm going to try for the very last time to bring Amanda Delaney on screen and see how we get on with this, because I'm really looking forward to hearing what Amanda has to say about what her life looks like now, after she has been living in alignment with her values. Nigel McMorrow says, most people go to the grave on autopilot without any awareness on how they lived their life. You're never going to always get it perfect, because there's no such thing as perfect, and Nigel knows that. Sometimes you will fall into the old habits and lower your standards. It's all about being aware and reining your values back in when you have a slip. Perfection is horseshit. Consistency is king. Well said, Nidge. Well said. And it's lovely to hear, the majority of conversations that I have are with females. And it's lovely to hear guys speaking so openly and honestly and candidly, like Nigel McMorrow. For those of you who are not familiar with Nigel, Nigel is a very good friend of mine who literally, like, there was a situation where I needed help in a hurry last year, and it wasn't even for me, it was for somebody else. And the first person I thought of was Nigel, and I picked up the phone, and that man was helping me in minutes, because that's how Nigel operates. And he knows the same. If he was to call me and he needed me for something urgently, I would drop what I was doing and I would come to his aid, because that's what you do for your people. That's what you do for your tribe. That's what you do for your community. So listen, Amanda says, no idea why my phone keeps sticking. I've no idea either, honey. So what I suggest right now is that I end this live stream and that Amanda goes live on her page and invites me on. And then what we'll do is we'll amalgamate these two videos later on. All right. So don't forget now, I put a link to the tickets in underneath after Amanda's live stream. Plan a girly day out, plan a guy's day out, get yourself a ticket, get your ass into the room. We've been behind closed doors for so long, and we need to be back in with our people. We need to plug into the motherboard. We have to plug into each other and feed off each other's energy, raise it up and learn. There's nothing like a bit of shared learning, okay? We cannot do this on our own. I tried it on my own for years and it's extraordinarily difficult. We cannot do it on our own. We need each other. We need to raise each other up and hold each other when we fall and create a safe place to fall, which Amanda and I always do. So I would wrap it up here. And Amanda, you go live, and then I want everybody who's on this live stream to go over to Amanda Delaney. All right, take it easy. Catch us later. Salam.
Day 2 of 5 lives in 5 days with Amanda and Nicola. I was going to share with you life now, living in my own values. And, it was lovely to listen to Nicola's story there and see how she came to understanding and getting that awareness around her values and what that did for her life. I'd love to say to you mine was that on purpose. It really, really wasn't. I'm going to keep it brief because I understand your time is precious, but I do want to share with you how I came across my values and what that looks like today. If you get a light bulb moment in this live stream, put the emoji light bulb. And if you can relate to anything that I'm saying, give us a thumbs up. Okay, so this is interactive. If you've got a question that you want to ask either myself or Nicola, pop your question below. If you want to enter the competition, again, it's saying connection failed, Nicola. If you want to enter the competition, tag a friend, share the live stream, and ask a question, and we will put you into the competition on Friday, and we'll answer all of the questions that come in live on our Q&A on Friday. Okay, so back to where I came across values and what it looks like now. So I was, as I explained yesterday, life was all over the place. There was no peace in or out. Everything was chaotic. But in my world of work, business, I was always saying yes to opportunities and always interested and intrigued of different ways of doing things. And this led me into many different businesses, including at a young age selling Avon. And then I sold Tupperware. I had a paper round. I had always worked from the time I was very, very young. But in my 20s, I ended up finding myself in business for myself and going to all these seminars and hearing from all these incredible speakers and going on a journey, I suppose, of personal development, opening up my mind. And this was about 12 years ago. And before that, I was totally asleep. And even in all the years then I started to do personal development, I'd never heard of values. And it was at a workshop one day, this female speaker planted a seed in me. She started to talk about values. And do you ever get your ears prick up? And I'm like, what's that? And your gut, my gut instinct went, whoa, you need to find out more about that. There's something in that for you. And I knew I needed to find out more. So I did. I went on the hunt to find out more about values. I came across a brilliant book. I started to read up on values. So while it wasn't on purpose, I believe that the journey that we're on is on purpose, okay? It is on purpose. There's no such thing as coincidence. We are all on a journey, and my time was then. My time was then to learn and hear about values. It was a game changer. We talk about pivotal moments in our life. We talk about when transformation happens and paradigm shifts. Well, when I found out about values and I started to work on mine, it was all of those things. And that's why I'm so passionate about our workshop in August. I was very passionate about the last time we put it on, and I believe that they should teach this in primary school, like from junior infants, even in preschool. It's so important. Has been the anchor in my ship. It's been the anchor that has really helped me to stay grounded and to learn more. But everything I learn layers on top of the values. It layers on top of the values. So today, what does that look like? It's very different than the people-pleasing, painful person I spoke about yesterday. Today, peace is one of my top values. It is my top value. I will do anything to keep my peace. Before, I would have said, I wonder what she meant by that. I wouldn't have had the courage to ask, what did you mean by that? I don't understand. I would have smiled and nodded my head. Today, I will ask the question, I don't understand that. What do you mean by that? That in turn has a huge impact on my life, because when I do that, in the beginning it was scary. Now it helps me with my confidence, and that's another value of mine. I'm not afraid to ask, can you explain that to me? Can you give that to me? Because if I don't, I'm not in line with my values. So I do anything that I can to stay in line with my values. I am a firm believer that your gut instinct, your intuition is always, it's totally aligned with your values. So here's the thing, right? If you ever feel like there's oh, I'm not sure about that person. Oh, I'm not sure. And you're getting this warning bells in your tummy. Okay, that's the only way I'll describe it. There's warning bells kicking off in your stomach. the chances are you are out of alignment with your values. You're doing something that's going against your core values, the stuff that you believe at the very, very core of you to be a priority and very important to you. Okay, so speaking my mind, asking questions. I used to feel that I'd be stupid if I did that. I'd be, you know, all the old me stuff laughed at. Now it's like, I need to know. Okay, I need to know. So I will ask the question. What else is there? When it comes to respect, am I respecting myself? Am I respecting myself? Am I speaking? How am I speaking to myself? It's not okay for me to disrespect me, and it's not okay for you to disrespect me. If somebody lets me down once, that's okay. I'll get over that. But if you let me down a second time, well, that's on you, and I will move and distance myself, and I won't put myself in that again. The old me would have kept going back for more. Okay, respect. I hold it high now. You will earn the respect from me. I won't give it away like a freebie. Okay, you've got to earn that from me. But as Nicola was saying earlier on, when you start to live this way, I find that people who would have disrespected me in the past don't, or they don't come around me. Okay, they don't come around me. So when I'm living in my values, it really looks after a lot of things that I don't have to consciously look after anymore, because I'm living here, which is true to myself. It's true to myself first. Am I living in my core values? And if I'm disrespecting my core values, if I'm not being true to myself, if I'm not tuning into my gut or ignoring my guts, guess what happens on the outside? Madness happens again. Okay, so I'm constantly, on a daily basis, I'm constantly aware and tuning in. No, I'm not going, I have to tune in. Like, it happens now automatically. If the gut is giving off signals, I'm much more likely to pick them up. So when you meet me today, who am I? I'm somebody who loves myself. I'm kinder to myself than I've ever been. I will hang around with people who I like. I distance myself from people who I don't like. I make tough decisions based on what's best for me. I make tough decisions based on what's best for me. That was the hardest one for me. What do I need? I'll give you an example. There was one day I had a choice of going to two different things. One was booked and one was a last minute, had just come up. And I had to ask myself this decision. Which one is best for me? Which one will serve me best? What do I need right now? What do I need right now? And the answer was the one that had just come up. It was a drama class. And I knew I needed that bit of laughter and to fill my belly up. That's what I needed at the core of me. So I was able to say, okay, I can't make this, and I did this. The old me would have been in a knot, trying to get to both things, to be here and to be there and to be all things. And I would have possibly gone with this, and that would have left me feeling meh, where I went here and I came back smiling and I filled my own cup up. So I hope that is making sense. Give me some light bulbs. I can't see the comments on this for some reason, but give me some light bulbs. I will watch the replay. So that's the difference for me today, living in my core values. I no longer keep my mouth shut. If I've got a question to ask, I will ask it. I believe now in transparency, another one of my values. So if I have something to say, I will do my best in a situation to give people the full picture. If I have in business, if I'm having an offer, I would put it all out there. Okay, I would put it all out there. I don't second guess myself so much anymore. I tune in and trust more. Okay, so every day, how important is it that we trust ourselves? I used to reach outside of me for the answers, thinking everyone else knew better than I did. I actually got a little bit emotional thinking of that little younger me who always felt that everyone else had the answers, and that, sure, what did I know? Like, they were always going to be better than me. I had to, I'm going to share this story with you. with a family relationship, okay? And family can be tricky, folks, right? And I know you all have family here, and some of you all have tricky family. And when we talk about living in your true values, okay, when we talk about living by your values, and somebody is disrespecting those values, not just once, not just twice, but every time you go to their company, you hear it and you see it, how they disrespect other people, and it's not okay with you, and your gut is screaming and you're saying, I don't like this, I'm not comfortable in this situation. However, this is a family member. This is somebody that, you know, you should spend time with. You, like, in the world where we're told to what we could do, it should be perfect. And yet every time you go and sit with that person, you come back and you feel, oh, do you know what I mean? Let me know if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. So living in my true values has helped me to make a very, very hard decision. And that was to spend less time there, even though I knew that that time was short. I knew that person's time, the window was short to spend time. Yet I had to stay true to my values. I could not expose myself to that for more than I had to. And I love that person dearly, okay? I would very, very dearly. However, my values had to come first. I had to live, walk, and breathe what I believed to be true, what felt right for me in the long run, because this is the person that I am responsible for and that I have to look after. And when I look after me and my values, everything around me has more peace, has more joy. It looks and it feels a whole lot better. So whether it's somebody near and dear and you love very dearly, whether it's somebody in business, whether it's somebody you meet on the street, it shouldn't matter where or who or what's the situation. When you've established your core values and you are walking your talk and you're living true to oneself, which is you, then life will change. Life feels amazing. And I know I can see a few comments coming in now. People are getting, you know, they're getting this. So you don't have to put up with, tolerate. I love that word, tolerate. What are you tolerating now? What are you just tolerating? I used to say that to some. Stop tolerating life. Life's not here to be endured and tolerated. Life is here for joy, peace, and experiencing great things, excitement, motivation. It's not going to be 24/7. Life has challenges too. But if you're living the majority of your life tolerating people, tolerating situations, and all that stuff, the chances are you're not living in your values, even if you have properly established them. So many people write out their values, maybe in a workshop, or maybe they've read a book, and then they put them, close the book and say, that's great. Oh, I know what my values are. I know what they are. Yeah. And the gut is in the meantime fecking screaming at them. Nothing feels right. It's not, there's no comfort, there's no peace. It's just like everything is like a fire station. Like it's letting you know, it's screaming that there's something wrong. But sure, you always did that. And how can I change? How can I tell that person? How can I not go and visit that person? Oh my God, I'd be riddled with guilt and blame and shame and everything else. And it comes a time then, and this is what the workshop is about. It's about helping you to establish, not only establish, but step in and own and walk and live by your values. Okay, your values. The other thing that happened that helped me to get where I am today is I cut off everyone else's values that I was carrying around. I'm going to do a section on that on the 13th of August, where you may be living and breathing and really believing that someone else's values is yours. I'm going to help you to really put that under a microscope and see what's yours, what's someone else's, and really just cut off what's not serving you because it doesn't belong to you anyway. Okay, so we're going to look at that on the 13th. So that's it. That's a wrap from me. As I said, business is what helped me to stumble in to the world of values. business and seminars and everything is what has helped me with my personal development, my confidence. It helps me now to continue to grow. And I believe that we all have a business, and that business is you. The business of you. How dare you not show up for yourself first? And then, of course, that will ripple. Somebody said it yesterday. It has the ripple effect into all areas of your business. So whatever it is that your heart desires, that your subconscious is creating in the background, all of those dreams and ambitions that you have, whether they're big or small, it doesn't really matter. We all have them. I firmly, hand on heart, believe that the Business of You workshop will help you immensely to really dive deep into yourself and how you can help yourself be the best version of you. That's it from me. I'm raging Nicola didn't get on. I was watching Nicola's video, and Nicola, I was answering you and I was nodding in my head and I was thinking, oh, I'm going to say that now when I'm talking to her. So the whole way through listening, I was there in body and spirit. I just wasn't physically on the camera with you, but I was doing all the chatting alongside you, and it was fabulous to watch. So that's it from me, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I want to share with you how helping some of my clients to establish their values and put in some practices and how they put it into their lives and how their lives has changed. And for me, that's a little bit more exciting than talking about my life, even though I love my life and it is very exciting. Tomorrow I want to talk about some other people that, you know, I have helped them to see, and even just today that happened. But yeah, I nearly started talking about a client, that the story for tomorrow. I have a cool story for you tomorrow, so tune in tomorrow, 2 p.m. Myself and Nicola will be there. And thank you to people who have already booked their tickets yesterday. We had some ticket sales yesterday, and I had an email from somebody looking to book 4 tickets, and their job is paying for it. So maybe, just maybe, your job might pay for you to come on the day's workshop. Okay, so ask your boss. Yourself, Nicola, pure tonic. Thanks, Maria. So if you have a boss that's interested in your personal growth, your personal development, because remember, this ripples effect into all areas of your life, and especially in your work. So go and ask your boss, if you have one, to buy a ticket. Let me know how many you need. Bring the girls from the office, bring the boys from the office. Have a day out. Okay, so that's it. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. If you are watching it on a replay, hashtag replay, probably should have said that at the start, because I will be going over these later on. I'll be picking out your questions and we'll be answering them on Friday. See you tomorrow.